What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? We are back. Beat the Line broadcast. We're here for UFC Seattle. I don't know if there's been a show in Seattle in the past. Is this our first time in Seattle? I don't even know.
That'd be
I
the
think it,
first time in a long time.
yeah,
Definitely
that's what I thought
after
too.
COVID.
Interesting because of all the fighters out of Washington, Oregon, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to have them back there. Like I said, we're going to be breaking down this UFC Seattle card, Cejudo versus Song. I'm your host, Picks with Pegasus, Key 3 Picks, Dravy. You guys know the deal. We're here every week. Just do a quick recap of last week. I think we all did pretty well for the most part. There were some good fights. What did you guys think of last week's card? We'll just do a quick little recap under a minute.
I mean, I did pretty good, but I lost my fucking max bet, so I ended up losing money. Reads were on point. I was cashing bet left and right, and then I didn't accept Petrosky to win. I really don't. So, yeah, I bet Vieira pretty big, minus 170, closed like minus 275. He ended up losing a close 29-28 decision. And I said in my breakdown, I was like, Petrosky pad is a close 29-28 decision. That I knew that was possible, but I thought Vieira would get the back at some point, and he did not. So, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, you can still argue that he won. He should have won, but I don't think so. I think Petrosky.
I thought I would have given 1 to Petrosky, 2 to Vieira, and then 3 was pretty close. I mean, Vieira kind of blew it for us, to be honest, in round 3. If he could have thrown the jab and just stayed stuck with his jab, I think he probably would have won us that bet. But he didn't. Calvin Kattar plus 3.5, spread of the week cashed. Jose Delgado made a statement, looked great. He's a pretty cool prospect to see up and coming. Walter Walker, heel hook.
Holy fuck.
I called it. I called it. Didn't I? I called it live on this show. I said back-to-back heel hook, Walter Walker, the GOAT. The greatest.
I also was on Elijah Smith. Elijah Smith, if that choke was in 10 seconds earlier in the third round, he'd be dead right now.
You showed that dog in him. I love him.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, up units on that card. Key, I think you were the same. So that's pretty much our
I ended up down a unit and a half myself.
No, I ended up a unit, but RoboCop let me down in the end for my big loss.
Yo, what about old man Jared?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I bet him live plus 275 after the first round because I'm like, yo, he weathered the storm. That's exactly what he needed to do. And now he's going to whoop on him because, I mean, G-Rod looked tired even after the first round. He was already holding his hands down. So, I don't know. But let's get into this card. First fight of the night, right? Modestas Bukauskas. Modestas Bukauskas versus Raffael Cerqueira. Modestas is 16-6. He's 31-6, 378-inch reach. One second, I'm not even sharing the fucking screen right now. Let's see here. There you go. Modestas Bukauskas, 16-6, 31, 6'3", 78-inch reach. Raffael Cerqueira, 11-1, 34, 6'3", 76-inch reach. Odds in these two gentlemen. You can get Modestas anywhere from minus 270 to minus 300. You can get Raffael Cerqueira anywhere from plus 230 to plus 225. Drav, start us off first. I mean, this is the guy that threw the fight to Ibo last fight, didn't throw a single punch, just got knocked out. And now he's fighting Modestas, who's an actual fighter. There's not a lot of tape on Raffael, so I'm just going to go with Modestas. That's just my rule, just like the Contender Series. Same rule applies here. No tape on the other guy. We're going the other way. I'll take Modestas here, but I'm not betting money on this, that's for sure. What do you think, Drav?
Yeah, tape or not, you're not even watching them, so doesn't really make a difference. I'm just fucking with you, but yeah, that's true. There's not a lot of tapes on this guy. There's one fight you can find on YouTube, and then there's like 2 minutes and a half highlights, and you can watch a little bit on his Instagram. He looks to be a grappler. He's supposedly a BJJ black belt, training with Gelton Almeida, all that shit, right? So people were kind of eye on him going into his debut. They bet him all the way to pick him against Ibo, and then he just cover up and he didn't do anything. So he always cover up kind of in his fight, like he always do that, but like he doesn't he straight up quit in that fight to me. Like he didn't want to be in there. Maybe it was because of his debut. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, people are fading Modesta and betting this guy. I mean, he's a big underdog, and Modesta is not very good. You don't want to pay him as a big favorite. But yeah, I don't understand why people are betting this fight. To me, it's just a straight up pass. I don't think this guy's good. He's about to be 35 now. 35 years old. So yeah, we don't know anything about him. So yeah, some people give me some shit on Twitter because I said you're kind of blindly betting if you're betting him. But it's a fade on Modesta. I can understand when he was like plus 300, Raffael. But yeah, I just think the fight is a pass. I don't think you should bet any money on it personally. But yeah, I'll pick Modestas to win. At least I know what I'm getting with this guy, even though I don't think he's good. I think he's getting hurt too much, and he's low volume. But yeah, he's a proven fighter at the end of the day. He's in UFC for a long time, and yeah, I don't think he's great, but at least I know who he is. So I don't know who the fuck this other guy is. He can be a complete bum as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, just a pass betting wise.
Yep, I agree. Key, anything from you?
Yeah, I'm like Modestas is like this type of favorite makes sense. Just because we know what we're getting in one guy, we don't know what we're getting in the other. Not that there's much that we're getting from Modestas. I mean, the win versus Prachnio was that was a hilarious fight. But like otherwise, I mean, this guy's just standing in front of people, just staring at him. Even guys that are tired in front of him, he's just staring at them. So it's not like he's a great winner, although I know that he's come back and won fights. But given the context of some of these, it's like honestly concerning that he's not performing better. Minus 120 to finish inside the distance is a stupid price. I think Modestas by decision makes some sense. If Raffael can wrestle just a little bit or is able to actually fight for 15 minutes without passing out, I think a plus 300 number on Modestas as a moderate favorite in any fight is probably going to be a plus EV bet. So I think that the decision angle is probably decent here. I didn't play it myself, but I think that that's decent because Modestas just is allergic to finishing fights. I know he finished Prachnio, but like that's the only time that guy is like really pushing to finish anybody. So I think Modestas by decision is probably a decent value.
Overs are probably fair. What's the over under set at? I didn't even look. What's it? 1.5?
Yeah, over 1.5, minus 125.
It's actually not bad at all. They're just assuming like he's gonna knock him out like Ibo, and Modestas doesn't really do that. So I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't over as well.
Gotcha. All right, so let's see. We got Dixon Sider. Thanks for coming back. Hobo Cop and Dontel Mays bum should be cut. Mays, maybe. Hobo Cop, he'll be back. He's only 32. Tough fight. What's happening, champ? Thanks, Glimbot, for joining us.
What's up?
Yitro, congrats on the profit. Cormier came up massive. Yep. What's happening, Liam? Thanks, Dan. Thanks for smashing the like button. Go check out his channel as well. It's a great show. This is AO. This is probably to the Modestas Bukaki comment. We got here. Yeah, it's definitely – I think this card is a little tough before you start doing tapes and stuff. You kind of look into that. There'll be some angles for sure. What's happening, Rem Dog? Finesse, what's happening, brother? Thanks for joining us. All right. Let's go. This guy just snuck in a comment here. What do you think? Cejudo song over 4.5. Hernandez inside the distance.
We're going to get to it.
Yeah, that's a wild parlay. That's a parlay he wants us to check out. That's a wild one. Let's go to the next fight real quick. We'll come back to that. All right. Nursultan Ruziboev versus Eric McConico. Nursultan Ruziboev is 34-9-2. He's 31-6'5", 76-inch reach. Eric McConico is 9-2-1. He's 34, 6 feet tall, 75-inch reach. I don't think I'm wrong. Isn't he Jared Cannonier's training partner?
Yeah, he's an MMA lab.
Yeah. So Eric McConico anywhere from plus 220 to plus 240. You can get Nursultan anywhere from minus 270 to minus 310. Key, give it to us first. What do we think here? Nursultan setup spot or Eric McConico's a good dog?
Yeah, this is a interesting fight. McConico is probably a solid dog. I can't blame anybody taking dog shot there. But Ruziboev definitely is not a parlay spot this week. round one or bust usually in every fight. But watching back the tape, I was just like even more disgusted. This guy has managed to get wins in the UFC because his process does not deserve to win in the UFC. It's pretty much right hand or bust. He's trying to walk you into it. He doesn't fill the space with anything. We know what we're getting out of him. He's going to play off of his back. That's how a lot of his submissions came versus regional bums. McConico's added solid gym and MMA lab. I liked his kicks against Patolo. I thought that he had some really solid shot selection. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him get some top time here. I know that he's probably working on closing that distance. And that's really the worry for him. He's gotten hurt in majority. No, I shouldn't say majority, but a good amount of regional fights he's gotten hurt in. And it's not that I think that he's like a terrible striker and just got his chin all up in the air. He's just getting like bonked in like weird exchanges or weird sequences. So his durability is questionable. And I think that can be problematic versus a guy like Ruziboev early, obviously. So round one, round two, Ruziboev is just dangerous. And so I'm hoping that McConico has a solid game plan. I have to imagine so with John Crouch and the guys. Pretty sure Cannonier is supposed to be flying in to be in this corner this weekend, which is pretty dope too. So I think this will be an actual like fun fight. McConico is like one of the calmest guys it feels like on earth. Like there's zero emotion while fighting. Like he's constantly just super calm, and that could come to bite him in the ass if Ruziboev comes out and just looks to steam him early. But I think that McConico has the better process. I think he's probably the better mixed martial artist here. I could see Ruziboev early finish. I could see McConico decision.
All right, cool. Yeah, I kind of agree sentiments a little bit. Nursultan, the size and reach is going to be a little bit different here. I think that he could probably pick him apart at range. But, MMA lab fashion, like he goes for takedowns, works clinch work. Eric could have success here. I think the longer the fight goes, the more it favors Eric. But like I said, I don't really have too strong of an opinion here. I'm going to take Nursultan to win, probably inside the distance. What do you think, Jav?
Yeah, I consider a dog shot here myself. I think he's all right, Eric. I think he has some skills. He's a southpaw, good head kick. But is that head kick's going to work against a 6'5" tall guy? Probably not, So that's one of his good weapon in the striking. He's very slick with it. So I don't really think it's going to work here. If you look, Ruziboev, he's not that good, right? But, the guy... his right hand down the middle hit like a truck early. Like he's very dangerous and he hit hard. And at the end of the day, I've watched Eric getting hurt in a lot of fights, like you said, on regional, and it was just enough for me to pass. I wish he wrestled a bit more because I think he has a grappling background or some shit like that. So he knows what he's doing on the ground. And Ruziboev get up game and takedown defense is not good. So I think if you mix up the takedowns, you could look great here, especially early. Being at MMA Lab, it's probably a part of the game plan, I imagine, but it's not to say you can't win on the feet. Ruziboev is low volume. You wait for counters, and he has 2 shots on the feet. He's slick with them, but that's basically what you got. He got, like I said, the straight right hand down the pipe. That's his best shot, and then he has good uppercut. That's basically what he's doing, and he's trying to counter in his low volume. So he's not a great minute winner. He's not going to try to wrestle. His get-up game and takedown defense not very good, so he's not a guy I want to bet as a favorite, that's for sure. But if you like his side, I think you can go Ruziboev KO1. That's probably the way he wins and covers his price tag more often than not. I think that's the way to do it. And I think the moneyline side, you gotta just take a dog shot. Like I said, I think this guy is pretty decent. I think he can compete, but I just don't trust his chin enough for me to back him here. But I'm kind of excited for this one to see how it play out. Gonna pick Ruziboev to win, but I'm not really interested betting wise.
Gotcha. All right. Fight to go. Raffael was fighting in the middle of them all. That's hysterical. Yep, that pretty much explains it. Hats off the job for giving out the Jared KO for free.
Yeah, all love.
Okay. He doesn't see Hernandez inside the distance. I disagree. I think he could finish late. Eric, get top time.
You could for sure.
Yeah, you could.
Yep. And this one, honestly, I think McConico's allowed to win. I worry about him getting chin if you get wrestling going. Yeah.
Nah, he's not gonna get sub. I don't see it. If Ruziboev finish, I think it's gonna be a KO. I know he has a lot of sub, but yeah, I don't see a sub.
Are you still trying to drop Riz, dropping parlay Riz on checks? Yeah, I gave out Song Yadong, and I gave her Song Yadong and Anthony Hernandez in a parlay for -120. Plus EV shit. Difference is with Alan. Okay, they're talking about that parlay still. We'll get to that. 2 units on Eric, and then these guys just talking about the parlay. All right, next fight. Mr. Van Zandt versus Nikolay Veretennikov. Austin Vanderford, he's 12-2, 34, 5'11", 74-inch reach. Nikolay is 12-5. He's 35, 6'1", 75-inch reach. Line on these two gentlemen, Vanderford is +135, and Nikolay is -155. Key, I'll have you go first, just because you said you did more in-depth tape into it. What are you thinking for this one? Wrestling match for Vanderford, or Nikolay gets stunted on? Or stunts on him, rather.
I don't think Nikolay is very good, and I didn't rate him pre-tape, and I gave him a little bit more respect after taping him this time around. Not because the Barlow fight was good, but because there were some things I just picked up on. That I did pick up on the first time watching him. I think that his left hand is actually pretty solid. That left hook has some real pop. He sat some guys down with it, finished some guys with it. I think that he's decent in a slow kickboxing fight. And I think that that's kind of what he wants. He's just sort of like, he's not really a dynamic guy. I know he got a bunch of finishes and went on a little streak, and that led him into the UFC. But the guy isn't like some dynamic striker with a bunch of free-flowing kicks or a bunch of different combinations. Like, he's pretty like just a functional guy, like straight up and down. He can grapple, but it's not like he's going to offensively grapple heavily. In the moments that I've seen him get grappled, he's gotten up pretty quickly. It doesn't look like he's bad off of his back. So there's not a true worry there. But he's just kind of mid all around, and it doesn't help that he's 35. In my opinion, I think he's an overachiever, making it to the UFC. I think that this is not regular regional guy, but a solid regional guy. Probably fights in KSW or something like that. Like, that would make sense for his skill level. But he's not a UFC guy, in my opinion. Vanderford was a UFC guy, in my opinion, and I think that he was in the wrong weight class, and that's something to monitor here. They'll be fighting at a catchweight at 175, and I believe the rest of Vanderford's career will be targeted in the UFC at 170. And I think that that's his true weight class. Getting finished by Gegard Mousasi and Aaron Jeffrey is not like that's not something to sit here and like say that that's horrible. Like, those are, if there's good losses, those are solid losses to have on your record. He did what he was supposed to do in the setup fight versus the Brazilian tax driver in LFA 194. Jabbed him, ended up finding some elbows on the ground. That is what it is. But really, I think this fight comes down to, is Austin still the same guy that he was before the layoff? Is he ready to wrestle for 15 minutes? Because I think that he does have wrestling upside in this fight, or just grinding upside, because that's who he is. That wrestle boxer type of mentality. I think that he's going to get in the pocket. I think he'll swing a little bit. I think he'll cage push, probably get a double leg. He's not dynamic on top either, so it's kind of just some ground and pound and win minutes. I can't blame you if you're taking a dog shot on Vanderford at this point, but I just don't know enough. We didn't see enough in the LFA fight. We didn't see any adversity. He just came out, hit pass for a couple minutes, and then did some ground and pound. So that doesn't tell us anything. Nikolay's been the more active guy. We talk about activity on this podcast. He's been the more active guy. I think that he's the rightful favorite here.
Jav, what are you thinking?
Yeah, like you said, I think Austin has some wrestling upside. I think he has a nice jab, and it's just these type of fights where they get booked last minute like that, and UFC debut for him, and I just don't like betting these fights when the odds are like, if someone's a big dog, then I have more interest. But yeah, I think it should be closely lined, and that's where it is right now. So I don't really see any interest betting it. But it has to be the upper pass. I don't think Nikolay is that good. And I think Austin has a wrestling upside path here to win. But yeah, I want to bet this fight? I don't. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Austin to win, but no confidence at all. I didn't tape it in deep. Only look into it quickly and figure out I'm not gonna bet it. So I just pass.
Just like Finesse the Book said, what about an OnlyFans fade? Austin is on OnlyFans with his wife. So what do you think? Is there any fade there or no?
I did not know that, but yeah, I guess there's always an OnlyFans.
You didn't know that, Trav. You didn't know that.
I didn't know.
Come on, you didn't know that. All right. Haven't looked into a much first impression, Nikolay. I'm gonna go with Vanderford, grappling upside, hometown fighter. I maybe wants it more. I don't know, but like I said, I didn't really do much looking into it. I had no reason to bet it, so I didn't even bother looking into it. Mr. Page is the local guy. Yeah, he is the local guy, so that could be cool. This comment right here is everything. This Billy Goff was supposed to be on this card fighting Nikolay. Nikolay pulled out. Billy got Adam Fugit. Fugit pulled out. Billy gets pulled off the card, then put together this bullshit fight. He's going to meet his maker someday. Billy the Kid's going to find him. Trust me. Next fight here. Ricky Simone versus Javid Basharat. No picture. That's good. Ricky Simone is 20-6. He's 32, 5'6", 70-inch reach. Javid Basharat, 14-1, 29, 5'9", 69-inch reach. Line on these two gentlemen. Ricky Simone anywhere from plus 210 to plus 240. Basharat anywhere from minus 250 to minus 260. I'll go first real quick. Ricky Simone is going to be my spread of the week, plus 3.5, minus 140. Some people probably got it early at plus odds. I didn't expect to get steamed to minus 150 on BetOnline, but it did. I mean, Javid Basharat fights every fight close. This is a big step up in competition for him against Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone didn't look great last fight, but you got to remember the guys he's fighting, the caliber of fighter. These guys like Song Yadong. He's fighting Vinicius Oliveira, which we know how good he is now. He's beat Said Nurmagomedov. Mario Batista, we know how good how well that aged. Submitting Jack Shore and Sunsao. Like, he fights good fighters. He fights well. He wrestles hard. He pushes a pace. I hope we see that. It's also a hometown fight for him. This is in Seattle, Washington at the end of the day. So I think we see an old Ricky that we used to know. I think he can win outright. If anything, he loses a close decision or split decision. If that's the case, it covers plus 3.5. That's my bet for it. Drav, I know you gave him out as a free pick. What's your read?
Yeah, I don't understand this line. I don't know why Basharat was minus 300 favorite here. I mean, he just lost his last fight against Zahabi. And every other fight, if you watch, I mean, all of them are 29-28 type decision. Almost all of these fights are 1-1 going into round 3. Or you can make an argument that it's 1-1 going into round 3. Like, he doesn't separate. He doesn't really finish UFC caliber fighters. And then, I mean, Ricky Simone's a good fighter. I know you look kind of washed in his last 3 fights, but you need to put some context into it. He fought Song Yadong and Mario Batista. He was a favorite, and Oliveira, right? So he was a favorite in all these 3 fights, and all these 3 guys would be favored to beat Basharat probably, or if they're not favored, they would beat him, I think. So that's the first thing. And then Batista and Song are very hard matchup for him stylistically. So, and yeah, Oliveira is just a madman that hit like a truck. But I'm pretty sure Ricky was injured going into the Oliveira fight. He didn't talk about it, so he didn't make any excuse about it like these other fighters, so we don't really know. But he had something on his ankle, and then if you look back, I think it's in round 2, he got a takedown, and then he get back up, and he does a weird movement with his knee, and when he almost fall down. So it was very weird. I have the clip, and I was like, yeah, something's not right with him. And he didn't look good. Like, he didn't push a pace or anything. But even if he didn't look good, he still ended like 2 takedowns, and he shoot like 10 takedowns. And he arguably won a round. So, yeah, in this fight here, I mean, if anyone has takedowns, it's gonna be Ricky. I don't think Javid's gonna try to wrestle. Javid, I know he has good takedown defense and very good get-up game, but I'm pretty sure Ricky is going to get 2 or 3 takedowns here. He's a very good wrestler. He chain wrestle pretty well. I don't think he's going to control Basharat on the ground because, like I said, Basharat get-up game is pretty good. But I think Ricky is going to land 2-3 takedowns. I think he's going to control him on defense a little bit. And just because of that, he can win a round. And then on the feet, yeah, Javid is a better minute winner. He has more volume. But then Ricky has more power, and he's going to win the moments on the feet. Basharat is hittable in the pocket. And, Ricky's striking is not bad, man. The guy has power. And Ricky normally struggle against guys that are big hitter and can defend takedowns well. Javid is not a big hitter, and I don't think he's gonna defend every takedowns. And Ricky, if you look at him on Instagram, he looks to be training hard, taking it seriously. So I like what I heard in his interviews. Also, he said you need to put the dog out for this fight and push the pace and all that shit. So I like to hear it, and I think it's gonna be a 29-28 type decision. Pretty confident it's going to go the distance. And then you had the fact that Ricky's fighting in hometown, like I could say, like Seattle is where he's from, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But he's going to have the fans cheering him. And if the fight's close, that can make also a difference. But yeah, again, in a close fight in the striking where I think Javid's going to land more volume, but I think Ricky's going to land a bigger shot. I think Ricky has wrestling upside, can get a couple takedowns, and then you can control him on the clinch a little bit. If you remove his last 2 or 3 fights, it will be a favorite here. And the last time Basharat won a fight, it's like 2023 or some shit. And if you look back, like the Tony Gravely fight, it was very close. And Gravely is a similar fighter than Ricky, but I think Ricky is stronger, a better wrestler, and just a better fighter with much better cardio. And yeah, Tony had success, but he gassed out in round 3 and Javid take over. But I don't think Ricky's going to gas out. He's going to be there. It's not going to get finished. And yeah, plus 250. I play a unit on it. I think the line should be closer to pick him. Maybe you make Javid minus 150 because of his age. And, Ricky didn't look good last 3 fights. But I'm not ready to say the guy's a wash at 32 years old. So I think the line should be close. And yeah, I think the price is just disrespectful. People are low on Ricky and always high on the Basharat brothers, but he lost his last fight, and look at the guys he's fought compared to the guy Ricky fought and lost to. Like Ricky has a win over Merab, so yeah, and he lost to Batista, Song, and Oliveira, all 3 killers. So yeah, he's not washed, I don't think, and he's only 32. He didn't look good, don't get me wrong, but I think he still has some gas in the tank, and I think he's gonna win this fight.
Yeah. Key, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, I echo a good bit of what Job said. On a less bullish scale, I haven't gotten to a Ricky bet personally, but yeah, I think that this line is probably wide. We know Bash's margins are pretty thin due to his lack of finishing upside. It'll be interesting to see. I hope Ricky's coming in healthy, because we definitely haven't seen the usual Ricky these past couple fights. So it'll be interesting to see. This will be a fun fight. I know Job has gotten some work with Team Khabib, so this will be an interesting fight. I think this will be a low-key banger potentially.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Prize picks wise, you guys like anything? I took Modestas under for fantasy, Fluffy for over for fantasy. I mean, Key's your guy. You want to talk about prize picks?
That's decent, but DM me and I got you.
Yeah, DM Key. It's more his forte. Lean Javid, this line's crazy. I agree. Yep, totally agree with you. Spread of the week is Ricky's spread. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see any guy getting a finish here in this fight. I guess if there were one to get a finish, it would be Ricky, but I don't see a finish.
Yeah, and Chem, by the way, I like it, but in a sense, if you think Ricky's life for a finish, take him inside the distance and just sprinkle on it. It's plus 900, so I would just sprinkle a little bit on it. But yeah, I mean, if anyone finish in this fight, I think Ricky is more likely to finish than Basharat, which is crazy. But
happy Black History Month, Keith. That's what MMA Clip said, and then prayer. So, all right. Next fight we have here is Nick Klein versus Mansur Abdul-Malik. Nick Klein is 6-1. He's 29-6-1 with a 77-inch reach. Mansur Abdul-Malik is 7-0, 6'2", 80-inch reach. I mean, he's the biggest favorite on the card. You can get Mansur anywhere from -800 to -1400. You can get Nick Klein anywhere from +660 to +800. Drav, go first. I mean, there's not really much to say here. What round do you think Abdul finds the finish? Round 1 or round 2? Let's go. How about we ask it that way?
I think it's going to be in the first round. He's just too athletic, too powerful, and Nick Klein he's right there to be hit, and he's taking this on short notice. He even said in interviews that he don't really think he's going to win, and he said something like Malik's more powerful and he's stronger than him, and he needs to get the fight into the later rounds. But like, again, even in the later round, I've seen this guy slow down in the past and finish late, and he's taking this on short notice. Malik just a beast, and he hit like a truck. If he gets on top, his ground and pound is vicious. I think he's going to knock him out in the first round. Hot take of the week.
Keith, anything different for you?
Nah, I parlayed Malik and Kong Wing. I got -550 on Malik at the time, so that was easy money.
Yeah, I think so too. Nick Klein. Wait, didn't I say this in the chat earlier this week? I was talking about his sub being +1600. What if he does it again? But I doubt it. No, I think he gets knocked out in round 1. Champ probably reiterating what Drav said about the interview. Yeah, I guess if Klein can extend it, maybe find a live bet on him, but I don't even believe it at that point. I think Malik can finish in round 1 or round 2, so not really much to say there. Next fight, Andre Fili versus Melquizael Costa. Andre Fili is 24-11. He's 34, 5'11" with a 74-inch reach. Costa is 21-7. He's 28, 5'10", 71-inch reach. Odds in these two gentlemen, it's pretty much a straight pick on -105 to -110 for both guys, depending on what book you look at. I'll go first. I took a shot on Andre Fili here at plus odds. The reason for that is because, first off, the level of competition that Fili's faced is so much higher than the level of competition that Costa has faced. That's just the start. I mean, looking at it from an extent of actual fighting, I mean, the way to beat Andre Fili is by knocking him out. I don't really see Costa carrying this crazy knockout power. Longer the fight goes, Costa starts to fade. Fili's just going to keep finding his range. I think if they do wrestle, Fili's the better wrestler for sure. When it comes to back takes and like setting up that, backpack, that's what kind of Costa's forte is. But the jiu-jitsu and wrestling of Fili, I think, is a little bit better than that to be controlled like that. On the feet, I think it's Fili all day, volume-wise, pace-wise, everything like that. I just don't get this line. I don't get how it's lined like this. I would probably make Andre Fili like -130 to -150. So I don't know. As long as Fili's chin holds up, I see him winning this fight pretty handedly here. What do you guys think? Key, how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, Fili can look like $1 million one day and look like shit the next. This is for me. I'm not willing to flip a coin on which version of Fili I get. I believe Dan said, I did a pod with Dan from Half the Battle. Shout out to him. He had said earlier while we were recording that Fili, I believe, had a baby or his wife is about to have a baby. Dad strength.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely can't help during camp, dealing with sleep, all sorts of different shit, recovery. I mean, so that can't be a help. So I hope Fili gets it done, but there's a pass for me.
Isn't the dad record a good record of guys who've become fathers and then fought won their next fight? I thought that was like a statistic last year that was going around. I thought that was a thing. I think it's a good sign. What do you think, Drav?
Yeah, I think it's a pick 'em for a reason. I almost bet Fili when it was +110. I decided not to do it. I mean, I think he's the more likely of the two to have wrestling upside. Sometimes he does very well with the double leg that he time. And I've seen Costa taking down and lose minutes on bottom. So I think Fili can potentially get that. And then he has a good body triangle, so he could get the back. And on the feet, I think Fili hit harder. And he normally does better against these taller, longer guy, the guy that similar size as him, and he doesn't do as well against these smaller guys that hit hard and trying to enter the pocket, like a Danige, for example, like a Britu, for example. But he tends to do well against these taller, longer guys. So, yeah, I think he's going to be fine here. Probably goes over, probably a 29-28 type decision, very close one at that. But I think Fili being the one landing the bigger shot, having fought the better guys, and having some wrestling upside, I tend to agree that he should be minus 150. I just don't feel strong about it. Not enough to make a play. I've seen a couple love for Costa this week, so maybe the line blew up and Fili become a bigger dog and then I'll have interest. But as of now, it's just a complete pass for me. But I think Fili is going to get it done.
Yep, I agree. Like I said, 1 unit on plus 100. Costa, decision. Lean Fili, too many problems. Footwork and striking, hard to be confident. Like Drika says, footwork doesn't matter, bro. Stop paying attention to it. Fili all day. Steve Garcia is pretty high level. Meh. Costa
Garcia hit like a truck, so yeah, but it went up a weight class also for Costa.
Rear body kick. Dad motivation is different. Yeah, the dad record is insane. They get KOs too. Fili KO. It is. Thanks, Key. All right. Next fight. Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. Alonzo Menifield, this is just one of those put-together fights this week. Alonzo Menifield, 15-5-1, 37, 6 feet tall, 76-inch reach. Julius Walker, 6-0, 25, 6'4", 81-inch reach. Odds in these two gentlemen. Get Menifield anywhere from minus 200 to minus 240. You can get Julius Walker anywhere from plus 205 to plus 185. Key, go first. I mean, I think you or Drav said that Pat Barry's not with him anymore. So, and he's at a different camp. He's back at Fortis. I think that can only be good things. Do we see a classic Menifield finish here, or is Julius Walker going to knock him out?
Yeah, I think that Menifield gets it done here. I don't think that Walker is good, and I also don't think that he's ready to be here yet. Former basketball player.
Pause. I missed a fight. I missed Ion and Ibo, but we'll come back to that. We'll loop back around.
But I think here Julius is a decent grappler, not a great wrestler, but once he gets it to the mat, he's able to flow through some positions and find stuff. But I don't think that he's going to be able to do that against Menifield. Menifield is just an insane jump in competition, like insane level. I believe he has a win over Bevan Lewis in his on regionals. That doesn't mean shit these days anymore. So I think this is just way too big of a jump for a guy that physically, I mean, you look at the measurables, Peg, scroll down a little bit. But you look at the measurables, I mean, you're talking 6'4", 81-inch reach. I mean, that pops off the screen. And so that's what I was going into tape expecting to see, a physical freak. And I knew about the basketball background. And sadly, he did not live up to the standard at all. The 1-2 on the feet just looks like it's not even – I don't think that it puts out Drav like if Drav takes it clean. So this is just – honestly, he's harmless on the feet. He potentially can grapple and maybe – but Menifield's cardio I know looked worse against some of these fights where he's gotten his ass whipped. But at the same time, he's way, way proven at this level compared to Julius Walker. I think that he gets it done. I think this price tag is deserved. I know it's ugly coming off of 2 KO losses, and they weren't very competitive at all. But Walker is not ready for this level. I don't think he'd be a Dana White Contender Series guy, honestly. He shouldn't be here. What
do you think about plus 400 on decision for Alonzo?
Nah, he should KO this guy.
Okay. Job, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I share the same sentiment as Key here. I don't know if you guys watch his amateur career, Walker. I had some times with tapes, you know me. If you look back, just click on his resume page and scroll down a little bit on Walker. Okay. Because there's some ugly fight in there. And it's not that long time ago.
Where do you want me to look here?
Right. So the decision that he lost, right? The couple decision he lost, and even one of them that he won. So I watched these fights just to know how he was losing fights, and it's in 2021, so it's not too long ago. And I mean, the guy looked honestly like a complete bum. Like Like he looked like he doesn't know how to strike. He doesn't have any striking defense, and he was getting taken down and shit. But then you watch fight by fight, and to his credit, he was young back then, and he's improving. I think his wrestling is okay, and I think his top game is good. I was impressed with his ground and pound, though. Let me say that his ground and pound is very good, and he has a decent submission game. But on the feet, I don't think he's that good. He's very hittable. So yeah, I think Menifield's the better striker. I think he hit harder, and like he said, he's way more proven. But Walker's the way bigger guy here, and he's much younger. Menifield at 37, coming back after back-to-back KO loss. I don't really like to bet him because of that, but it could be a level fight. That's the way I see it. I think just he could just be a level ahead of him. And I know a lot of people on Twitter love Walker because he's talking to them and he followed them and shit. So yeah, I think he gets some love because of that, but I'm not sure, like he said, that he's ready for this level yet. But he does have some good attributes that can make him win fights at the UFC level, because at light heavyweight, the reality is some of these guys doesn't have ground game. So I think if he can take these guys down and get on top, his ground and pound and sub game is good enough to win some fights. But Menifield takedown defense is pretty good, and he's strong. So yeah, I think the line is. I agree with the line movement here. I saw some people in the chat said that they play Menifield when he was like minus 150, minus 160. I almost did it myself, but the line was just keeping dropping. Like it was just dropping. I was like, at some point the line might just go to a pick'em or some shit. So I was just waiting. But like I said, I was not rushing to play Menifield. But if the line around minus 150, you did your job. And I think now that the current price is fine.
Yeah. All right. Too big. I agree. Too big of a step up. I only watched like 2 of Walker's tapes. I watched most of Menifield's and kind of came to the same conclusion as you guys. Height and reach wants to play jiu-jitsu. Walker, Iridium guy. That's why I got the call up. All right, we got to go back a fight just because I missed one. It's actually one of the ones that I like a lot too. It is Ion Cutelaba versus Ibo Aslan. Ion Cutelaba is 18-10-1. He's 31, 6'1", 75-inch reach. Ibo Aslan is 14-1, 28, 6'3", 77.5-inch reach. Odds on these two gentlemen: Ion Cutelaba anywhere from plus 145 to plus 150. Ibo Aslan's anywhere from minus 172 to minus 180. Drav, go first here. I mean, are we going to see Ion Cutelaba survive round 1 and out wrestle Ibo, or is Ibo going to find the first round knockout?
I mean, they can both find the first round knockout.
Definitely.
They're both live to catch each other. I mean, Ibo Aslan, I'll give him some credit. He does have power. He's a fine striker, I guess, and he has good leg kicks, all right? And he seems to be durable. But on the other end, I don't really think he has good cardio. I know he has 2 round 3 KOs, but some of these fights are not a good look, especially because, like, against the Pleasure Man in his last fight, at the end of round 2, he was looking very gassed out. And then there's a break because of a high poke, I think, and he had about a minute break there. I think it helped him. But yeah, the momentum was switching. He was an underdog live in round 2. And yeah, he catch a Pleasure Man. I think the stoppage was a bit early. But yeah, he defended takedowns here. He defended takedowns here. But if you go back and watch the first fight against the Pleasure Man on the regional, so he's kind of beating his ass in the first round. But then the Pleasure Man is still alive and he get a takedown. And when he gets a takedown, that's a wrap. Like, Ibo has like nothing on the ground. He gives up his back. It was nasty and he got submitted instantly. So do I think he's improving since then? Yeah, probably. He was at Extreme Couture back then, and now he's at Deng Tai Muay Thai. So yeah, the guy is clearly working on his skills. He's only 28 years old, so he's going to be improving. But again, Cutelaba is the better wrestler he ever fought. Like, if Cutelaba fought the Pleasure Man, he would just slam him over his head. Like, let's just be clear about that. So if Cutelaba wants, he has takedowns here, I'm pretty sure. And he averaged like, 4 or 5 takedowns per fight. And he fought the way, way better guys. Like, it's not even close. And if you look, they both have like 10 plus KO1 in their career. But Cutelaba is getting some of them against in the UFC. Ibo Aslan has never fought someone this level yet. Cutelaba is not really trustworthy. He can lose fight he should not be losing, and he can get clip himself. Like, his striking defense is not very good either, and he can be cracked. But like, you gave me the guy with all the wrestling upside, that has proven cardio for 15 minutes and won 15 minutes and won a decision fights in his career, that fought a much better guy. And yeah, I get Ibo is bigger and he hit hard and he can knock him out in the first round. But again, so could Ion. Ion has power himself. He's a madman and he's going to be there. So I think on the feet, it's going to be competitive. But I trust Ion cardio more as the fight extends. He's just more proven. And if Ibo has to defend takedowns, maybe it's going to be fine early. But as the fight goes on, even if Cutelaba doesn't have the best cardio himself, he's proven to get takedowns as the fight goes on and win fight when it's extended, or at least go 15 minutes. Ibo Aslan never won 15 minutes, and the time he went into round 3, he looked gassed out and find the kill. But yeah, I just think this guy is overhyped. He was a pick'em against I think he was a pick'em against Pleasureman, and then he was a pick'em against the potential fraud Raffael Cerqueira, right?
Yeah.
And then you knock him out in round 1, the guy just cover up, and now he's minus 180 against Cutelaba, who's a much better fighter, way more proven, and has wrestling upside. Yeah, I don't agree with it. I think at worst he should be a pick'em, but I think Cutelaba has some favorite upside. If he can get on top, his ground and pound is nasty, and he has a decent submission game. So I think there's a world where he take him down early and he just smash him and look like a big favorite. But yeah, I'm willing to find out at the price. I don't understand the Ibo hype. I know a lot of people playing him, but yeah, I think the guy is a bit of a fraud.
Yeah, I agree completely with you. I don't think this line makes sense at all. Both fighters, I give them knockout equity. Ion at least has 15-minute cardio, massive grappling edge, much better strength of schedule. Outside of round 1, I think Ion wins on a very high clip. If he's able to get the takedowns early or mid-fight, it's going to only zap the gas tank of Ibo more. Ground and pound and control of Ion, so much better on top. Last fight, like you said, Ibo just beat up a can. Before that, I bet the Pleasure Man. I was there. It was an early stoppage. He was looking gassed, and there were eye pokes and he used like the full 5 minutes. I was there live for that. There's a rumor going around that these.
He went to war with the Pleasure Man. Like, he went to war. His face was beat up a little bit.
Yeah, I was there. I was there live. It was in Atlantic City. And then there's a rumor that these two sparred and that Ibo beat his ass in sparring. That may be true or may not. I wouldn't put too much tax into rumor.
You're kind of funny, Peg. I'm the one saying it to you, and you're talking like you're the one knowing it. But yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm just reading my breakdown in my Telegram. That's what I'm going off of right now. In the cage, it's always going to be different. I don't get how we're getting. Bottom line, how are we getting a guy with more grappling upside, more experience, better cardio at plus odds? I just don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me here unless he's throwing the fight. So plus 150. I took it to win 2 units. Key, any different for you?
Yeah, I posted Cutelaba as my free bet of the week. I think the guy's gotten better in boxing range. I think that he's gotten better defensively. He's rolling with punches, shelling. I think the Aslan, people were talking about betting the Pleasure Man against him right before the Cerqueira heavy bag punching incident, pretty much. And so I don't take anything from that performance whatsoever. In the pocket, he's looking to swing big hooks nonstop. There's no real process, maybe a few jabs every once in a while on the leg kick. But I think outside of that, he's not very good at all. I know that he's gotten some work in Thailand, so I have to imagine that there's potentially some improvements. I don't think that his takedown defense is ready for Cutelaba. Cutelaba snatching singles, truly sweeping guys. It's real levels in wrestling.
Judo.
This is real levels in wrestling. So I don't think the Aslan is going to be able to deal with that. Now, do I think that Cutelaba is going to wrestle his way to a decision for 15 minutes? No, because Cutelaba is not going to do that. But I do think that he can mix in the wrestling enough to find success. One, just to break up periods within the fight and win minutes, but also two, I think that he has the ability. Ground and pound is, disgusting. We know that from over years. His ground and pound is nasty. So I wouldn't be surprised if, he catches the right button while ground and pound, and then Aslan's out of there. I don't think Aslan's ready for this. I think there's a major step up in competition. Cutelaba is only losing to huge, guys who have now moved on to heavyweight. So you have to think about that. I don't think that Aslan is one seeing this in the gym every day. I don't think that you don't see guys as explosive as Cutelaba. I know that there's rumors about them training together or sparring at Extreme once before. I don't hold any weight to those. I think that Cutelaba is a better fighter. I think he's a better mixed martial artist. Aslan is good that they fed him some cans and boosted up his record, and he has muscles and hits hard, so he's a UFC fighter now. But I don't think that he has the real skills to be here.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'll go through comments real quick. Sub 9-1 because fuck Ibo. I agree. Just parlay if it doesn't go distance, and shouldn't really go the distance. I think it's pretty
honestly
safe.
I like the under 1.5 more if you want to play that, because under 1.5 is like a pick'em, and then fight doesn't go to like minus 350 or something. I think the under 1.5 is better, just because if the fight ends inside the distance, more often than not, it's gonna be under 1.5 again with these guys. I feel like, so I think it's a better play if you want to play this fight without playing a side. I think the under 1.5 is solid. Both of them were madmen in the first round. Cutelaba can finish on the feet on the ground, and Ibo can finish on the feet in the first round. So yeah, and you covered the first 2.5 minutes of round 2. So I think the under 1.5 is also a solid play there.
Yeah, such a fraud. I agree. If he gets a win against Cutelaba, it's only gonna make it so much better when we fade him next time. Ibo's getting bonked. Ibo's an Ali guy, so that's why his early matchups are soft. Makes sense. Ion 200, no way. I think sharper money comes in later on in the week, and the line goes more towards pick 'em.
And honestly, I'm surprised by this movement like ahead of time, because I played Cutelaba like a good ways back at plus 135, and then it went down to plus 110. I thought that this would stay there or end up Pick'em or Cutelaba, potential slight favorite, and I'm surprised this went back to plus 150 and shit. This is crazy.
I think it'll come back. It'll come back in closer to fight day, I think. Next, let's move on. This is our main event, guys. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate it. That's your way of supporting us, because we like helping making you guys money every week. Also, UC just got announced, Prates versus Jeff Neal, as I predicted.
It's interesting.
Prates by KO. It's already written in the stars. We will be there no matter what. Gene Silva versus Melsik Bagdasaryan. Gene Silva, 14-2. He's 28, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach. Melsik Bagdasaryan is 8-2, 33, 5'9", 70-inch reach. Line on these two gentlemen. Gene Silva, huge favorite, anywhere from minus 600 to minus 700. Melsik Bagdasaryan, anywhere from plus 400 to plus 450. Key. This is fight of the night written all over it. It's going to be a sick kickboxing match if they stay on the feet. Sick striking fight. If it goes to the ground, I think Gene Silva kind of has an easy path to victory. Probably can find a submission here and submission upside. I think Gene Silva wins this fight. Shocker, minus 600. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think line is wide. Melsik is good on the feet, but he's not a good MMA fighter. I don't think he likes to fight through clinch scenarios, through grappling. Like, he just gets tired very quickly. I think that his kicks are insane. The speed, that left leg is, just insane shit. I think that the body kicks will be a path to victory for him here. But I assume that John's going to be able to get in range. I think that rounds 2, round 3, I think he finishes him. The physicality difference is pretty disgusting here. And we talk about activity. And John Silva has been active while Melsik has had torn labrums, broken hands. He has as many withdrawals from his own injuries and him pulling out of fights in the UFC as many fights as he has actually fought in the UFC.
Yeah.
So, that's just problematic. I think that John is just too durable. I think he's going to get on the inside, potentially bark at him a little bit, and make this a dog fight. I think round 2, round 3, he gets it done. I know value boys are playing Melsik. I just don't see it.
What do you think, Drav?
Yeah.
I think he gets the sub, personally. I think he finds a sub.
You should bet it then. It's like plus 600.
Is it? I didn't even look into props yet. Like I said, I'm trying to stay away from him this year. But go ahead. You got it for me.
Yeah, I think it's more likely going to be a KO, but I could see a sub if he grapple. If you look on Instagram, he looks to be training the grappling a lot and keeping takedowns. So he might come out here and grapple. And if he does, there's a chance that he make it look easy. But on the feet, especially early, I don't think the line is justified, to be honest. Melsik kickboxing is very good and he's super fast. So I think there's a good chance that he win the first round, actually. But I think Silva pressure, power, and just cardio and toughness going to be too much. Melsik tends to slow down, especially in round 3. And Silva, you won't keep like he's going to be in your face. He hit hard. He's very fast and his reflexes are very good. So I feel like at some point he's going to break Melsik, maybe in round 2 or 3. And again, if you grapple and make him work in the grappling, he shot a couple of takedowns against Kevin Vallejos. He went 1 for 3, but he doesn't grapple a lot because he's just beating this guy up on the feet. Knocking out Cejudo and Judo back to back is very impressive. He's very creative with his elbows and shit on the feet. So I like that. But again, at distance in the big cage early on, I feel like Melsik's going to compete. I think there's a good chance that you can get Silva at a good live line after the first round or during the first round. So if you want to look at that, I think it could be interesting. But I think Silva win probably a finish later in the fight. But I tend to think the line's a bit too wide, though.
Yeah. Let's go through these comments real quick. This time Gene gets a sub and wins all the KO tickets. Yeah, I think so, honestly. I mean, the levels are much different here on the ground, and I think if Gene gets the back, he'll find a finish, no problem. Also live for leg locks. I'm sure Melsik has no idea what a leg lock is. I think Gene wins, and if he wrestles, he's not in the off. But if he only stands up Melsik, I don't know how he covers. Yeah, I don't know how that is. I think round 2 or 3 is great. Good look, Key. Sub round 2 or 3 real small because they're 30-1 or more. Wow, 30-1 on sub 2, sub 3. That's kind of crazy. Pitbull is with the UFC.
I'm not sure if that's
big
confirmed yet.
Yeah. Marty Fake Newsman, Joshua Jaquez. That's what we got over here. Next fight, Rob Font versus Gene Matsumoto. Gene Matsumoto is 16-0. He's 25-5'6" with a 68.5-inch reach. Rob Font, 21-8, 37-5'8" with a 71.5-inch reach. Odds in these two gentlemen, you can get Matsumoto anywhere from -150 to -160. You can get Rob Font anywhere from +139 to +150. I'll go first here. Hats off to Drav. He tipped me off on this first. Bet Rivers had Matsumoto by KO plus 1,300. So I took that for 0.25 units. Rob Font's chin hasn't looked great as of late. He's getting older. Matsumoto, black belt, Muay Thai. Very good striking. Happy to sit in the pocket. From a fight standpoint, I think Gene Matsumoto wins this fight. That's my prediction. Rob Font's definitely going to have I don't want to say the better boxing, or he's definitely the better boxer here. But when it comes to striking, I think Gene Matsumoto with his inside leg kick and outside leg kick will have success here. We know Rob Font doesn't really deal with those well. If he wants to shoot a takedown, I don't know if he'll get it because that Brad Katona fight, Gene Matsumoto was shooting deep singles and deep double legs, but was kind of giving up on them early because he's more of a striker than a grappler. But I was kind of looking for that because everyone knows that an easy path to victory against Rob Font is wrestling him. But it's a big step up in competition here. Rob Font does jab very heavily. I think Rob Font, surprising enough, he's not going to be like a bigger guy in the cage, as in like, I don't know how to put this, girth, pause, but he'll be he'll be taller. He'll be like a taller, longer guy in there. And the size difference will probably look similar in the cage.
Bro, you're crazy. Font's way bigger than him.
That's what I'm saying. He's taller, but I don't think he's wider.
He's bigger than him. Yeah, and it's also a catch weight, which is going to help Font.
Yeah, I think he's going to not be like size width wise. He's not going to be that much bigger than him. Height wise, he's going to be a lot bigger than him. But either way, back to what I was saying. Either way, I think Gene will sit in the pocket with him. I think if he trades in there, he's liable to get cracked. Rob Font's obviously liable to get cracked because we've seen his chin over time. But I don't know. I think Gene Matsumoto puts something together here with the leg kicks and maybe finds a finish. That's why I took a shot on plus 1,300 on the KO. But outside of that, this is a very tough fight to pick, and it's another one of those fights that's going to be It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be just like that Melsik Gene fight. It's going to be very close, I think. What do you think, Joff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a good read on this one, just being honest. I think you can make an argument for both sides because, it's a big step up for Matsumoto. Went to war with Kitona, so the fight was fun, but it was close. And Kitona doesn't hit hard at all. And he rocked him twice with an elbow in the first round. At the end of the first round, when they go back to the stool, he was a bit wobble. But it was a clean elbow, to Kitona credit, but still, he rocked him a little bit there. I don't think he has a bad chin or anything, don't get me wrong, but now he's going to be facing a guy that hit very hard that can expose him in the boxing pocket because, like you said, you want to swing in the pocket, but reality is it's very hittable. And against a guy like Font that hit a lot, that has a lot of volume and has power and very good boxing with a nasty jab, it could be nasty for him. Like he's a young guy, and like I said, he's going to be the smarter guy here. And the fact that this fight's a catch weight, I think it's a big factor for Rob Font. Because, like you said, I mean, his chin's not the best, but the guy is fucking tough. Never been KO'd, but like he get hurt in a lot of these fights. Didn't get hurt in his last fight against Carter Phillips. Phillips gassed out after a round, but still, he didn't get hurt. And I think that like he struggled to make 135 Font for at least the last 3 years. He struggled. He even missed weight sometime, and he had catch weight in the past. So I think for a guy that durability is on the decline and he has trouble making weight, I think the fact that this fight's a catch weight at 140 pounds. It's a big plus for him, and it's not a big plus for Jane, who's not a big guy at all and can make the weight pretty easily, I assume. So, yeah, that's that. And then in the grappling, the thing is like Matsumoto grappling is good. He has very good guillotine, but he doesn't really wrestle a lot. He's happy to strike. He even said in interviews he loves to strike. He's a Muay Thai black belt. He prefers to strike, so that's fun because he's a good striker. And like you said, he has good leg kicks. But if he shoot a couple of takedowns here, he could have some tough time upside because Fun's not very good off his back. But he shows some more urgency in his last fight to get back up a bit more. And Carter Phillips just his wrestling is way better than Giant. It's not even close. But yeah, he gassed out, so it is what it is. I don't think Matsumoto is going to slow down here. But yeah, that's a step up for him. Font is obviously older and durability is on the decline. So I think the KO shot on Matsumoto makes sense. He's alive to catch him in a guillotine, but for that to happen, you have to think that Font's going to shoot, and I don't see it. So with that being said, I don't really see a sub, but I think he's alive to knock him out just because Font's going to exchange with him. They're probably going to go to war, and like you said, he might hurt him at some point. He only has 3 KOs in his career. That's probably why the line is like that. But again, it's just a big price, and at this stage of his career, I think Font is alive to get knocked out at some point. So it could happen. I'm not confident who's going to win. I like Font that he's at Tristar now. He looked good with a good game plan in his last fight. I like his uppercut that he used, and he hit Phillips with a lot of big shots in that fight. So I think the line movement is a bit justified after thinking more about it. I still have to favor Matsumoto a little bit just because of the career moment, the career trajectory of both guys and Font durability. So I'm going to pick him to win this fight, but I'm not confident at all. But I'm excited to watch it. Rob Font always bring it, so it's going to be a fun one.
Key, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I echo a lot of the same sentiments as y'all. I'm staying away just because Font's jab is just so damn good. Matsumoto, I'm not sure if he's ready for this step up. I mean, this is a pretty big time step up in competition. Font has consistently shown to be tough. So I problems with scar tissue. I think that there could be some potential issues with that and taking damage at this stage of his career. I know he's not going to wear it well. And Matsumoto comes to fight. I mean, he's going to straight up and straight down. He's going to be ready to go. So this would be a fun fight. I wish they would have gotten Raul Rosas would have been a fun matchup. I think Font would have taken him out back and whooped him. So that would have been cool. But or the Gutierrez fight, Font would have jabbed his face off. So that would have been fun. But I think that there's a good matchup. Matsumoto is going to come to fight. I'm staying away because of Font's jab, but can't blame anybody this one to trust in the prospect here.
Yeah, so he's going to, I think Font's just too much of a step up. Short notice. Do you think Matsumoto is good, but they're rushing him? Possible. Under is wide. Font declaring. Yeah, I actually don't mind the under either, honestly.
The type of fight where the under is going to look value. They're going to go to war and probably still go the distance. but like you're gonna have your chances to cash it. That's for sure.
Yeah, TriStar might be greased up like Cater. That's funny.
It's possible.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, it's all that was the way he fought, man. Come on, give me a break.
Only in
Next
round
fight.
3, like give him credit.
Yeah, round 3. Yeah, round 1 and round 2 look great. Round 3 was an
Beat
embarrassment.
his ass in the first 2 rounds. It was not even close.
We want the man cut. That's all we want. We want the man cut. Send him back to the LFA.
He had like 4 finishes or some shit, and then he has one decision that he run away for 5 minutes, and Pig's already a hater.
We send him right back down, right back to the LFA. Dana knows what to do. I don't have to worry about it. Dana knows what to do. Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. This is our co-main event of the evening. This is also a rematch. If you guys watched our LFA fight, it was a 5-rounder. Brendan Allen, 24-6. He's 29, 6'2", with a 75-inch reach. Anthony Hernandez, 13-2, 31, 6 feet tall, 75-inch reach. Odds in these two gentlemen, you can get Brendan Allen anywhere from plus 250 to plus 265. You can get Hernandez anywhere from minus 275 to minus 300. Key, I'm going to have you go first. Do you think this fight looked the same as the last fight did, where, Anthony sets up a pretty good wrestling game plan, is able to out-grapple him, out-wrestle him, beat him up, take advantage of him, do whatever he wants to him? Or do you think Brendan Allen, puts the striking together here, able to keep it standing or finds a submission?
Yeah, I think the Fluffy gets it done here by the usual Fluffy things. Pace, cardio, grappling. I expect for Allen to have some competitive grappling sequences with Fluffy early on, but round 2, round 3, we know the deal. I think that Allen is potentially even a live dog if he was able to keep it on the feet. And that would be the interesting part, to see how long it takes for Hernandez to get into his flow. I think that if there's anything in Allen's game that's taken like a huge jump, it's been his kicks. So I would, if I was him and game planning wise, I know it can be tricky because it can lead to potential caught kicks and takedowns, but I'd be hammering home that rear leg body kick. I think we've seen Fluffy get hurt to the body before, won and lose a fight, but even in a copy law fight, have some issues with that. So I think that doing body work early is probably the best way to go about this. But I'm interested to see how Allen looks. I don't expect for the cardio difference to look insane. But I do think that Fluffy grinds him out at the end of the day. And I also think that Allen won't probably cardio dump as hard as he did in France. There was a lot of bullshit that went on behind the scenes with them taking his blood after weigh-ins and holding him up so he wasn't able to rehydrate. I mean, a whole lot of weird stuff there. And so I think that here Hernandez probably gets it done, but I'm not looking to parlay him. And so for me, it's a pass fight.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think Fluffy murders Brendan Allen here, probably finds a round 2, round 3 finish, ground and pound, gasses him out, makes him tired, beats him up. Yeah, that's kind of how I think of it. I think Fluffy finishes him with ground and pound here. Subbing Brendan Allen's no easy task. He's a pretty good grappler. But ground and pound finish, definitely there. Round 3, when Brendan Allen's tired and he's getting mauled, or like a TKO stoppage. I don't think it'll be like a KO. I guess Four Corners just asked that. What do you guys think, Fluffy by KO? I don't know. I'd rather just play his round and KO prop 2-3. I think it's plus 700 and plus 900 or something like that, if you want to play it. Wait, what? He said round 2 KO for Fluffy is plus 1400. Yeah, that's live, I think. But I think round 3 is more likely, and that's plus 2200. Yeah, I like those if we're taking long shots. Glenn wants to know, what do you guys think? Who wins round 2 at a high clip?
Yeah, you said it's gonna like who win the second round. Like I think first round's gonna be competitive, but yeah, I mean Fluffy cardio and pace and pressure is just too much, and he's gonna be the one shooting the takedowns. And we've seen Malcolm, getting the better of Allen the wrestling, but like Fluffy is just a monster in this position. And fun fact about the first fight also, Fluffy had a rib injury going into this fight. I think he had a problem with his hands. He said that he couldn't hit pads and his cardio was not good because of his rib injury going into the first fight, and that he was gassed out in the fight. So I found out it was pretty interesting that he said that, because he's still, outpace him over 5 rounds. But I think here Adon could win a round, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to finish Fluffy. I think if anyone finishes, it's going to be Fluffy late. I think Fluffy dominate the 3rd round and get the better of the scrambles. And even on the feet, he can compete. Adon's a good fighter, but I just think Fluffy stylistically is a bad matchup for him.
Yeah. Plus 3.5 on Allen. I mean, I don't hate that, but I kind of think Fluffy cooks him. Not gonna lie, I think Fluffy could win all 3 rounds. I think when you watched their first fight, how many rounds did you guys give Fluffy there? 4-1.
Yeah, I think it was 4-1.
Yeah, I gave him 4-1 too. So I'm not sure if it's covering that. Picking the dogs
in a 3-rounder, it's possible. Like he could win the 1st round, but yeah, I think there's more chance that Fluffy finish him than Allen win a round convincingly.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with that sentiment. All right. Our main event of the evening. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate it. Thank you. We do this for you guys, make you guys money. Just subscribe to our channel. Drop us a like below. Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. Henry Cejudo is 16-4. He's 38-5'4" with a 67-inch reach. Song Yadong is 21-8-1. He's 27-5'7" or 5'8" and 67-inch reach. Line right now, Henry Cejudo, huge underdog, plus 225 to plus 230. Song Yadong, minus 265 to minus 275. Key, I'm going to have you go first the last one, or have Job go first?
I don't know. I'll go first, though.
Go first. Take it away.
Yeah, I think here, Song, I'm not sure if he's actually 27, but that's besides the point. I think that here, I think that Song is the more athletic guy. It seems like he has stone hips. It seems like he hits like a truck. I think that these are all issues for Cejudo. I think Cejudo maybe gets that inside trip a couple times, potentially gets on top. But I think that Song probably pops right back up. I mean, it's not like we've seen Cejudo just be this one takedown as the whole fight around type of guy. We've never seen that. And I don't believe Cejudo even has a submission in his UFC career. So it's not like I expect Cejudo to just dominate on the mat. I think that we'll see Song sprawl and brawl. I think that this line is probably somewhat close to correct. So I know it feels nasty because Cejudo is an alternate universe, the UFC champion or another former UFC champion after that Aljamain fight, because I thought that was close, and you can make arguments that Cejudo won the fight. And I had Cejudo in that fight. I also backed Cejudo versus Merab, and he bonked Merab early in round 1, and then proceeded to just get wrestled and what Merab does to everybody else. So that's not a surprise. I know Cejudo said that he had a groin issue and was coming in injured into that fight. That probably plays into a little bit of the line movement that day of. But I think that this is a Song spot. I won't say that he just knocks him out, because Cejudo's always been durable, and I assume that he'll be able to tie up and wrestle if need be to just not get finished. But I think that Song probably wins a very dominant decision or KOs him late.
Nah, if you couldn't tell from the mic, I was a little sick based off this comment. But I agree. I kind of think Song Yadong wins a decision here. I think he kind of covers his price tag pretty much everywhere. Henry Cejudo has not looked good in his past fights. I think Song could stop the takedowns, make this look good striking on the feet. I think the physicality factor is going to be there for Song as well. I don't know. I just think it's the young man. This is just passing of the torch. I don't really know what Cejudo's thinking at this rate. I think if he gets a win, he's probably going to try and call out Merab, I guess. But I don't know. I think Song Yadong wins a decision. Honestly, we've never seen Cejudo knocked out. Don't be surprised if Song Yadong does it, but I think it's probably going to be a decision. What do you think, Jav?
He's been knocked out one time, I think.
Who? Was it Demetrius Johnson?
Yeah, he knocked him out.
What, did he?
Yeah.
It's fine.
They fought twice, but he knocked him out.
Yeah, the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, round 1, knees to punches.
Yeah, but
dude, Lenny Mass is a fucking goat. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a fight where I think Cejudo is getting older. He's 38 years old. fighting a weight class that he's still too small to fight at against a younger guy that is very athletic and can defend takedowns well and get back up pretty good. So yeah, I mean, Song hit hard. He knows what to do, and I just feel like it's a spot where he's more likely to finish or look dominant, and he can easily win a fight over 25 minutes as well. I think Cejudo cardio at this point a bit suspect maybe. And yeah, over 5 rounds. I don't really think he's gonna finish Song, and I don't think he's gonna dominate Song with the wrestling. So yeah, I guess he has a pat making a close decision, but I think there's a chance that Song win dominant or just catch him at some point, knock him out. That's likely. I don't think he looked bad against Aljo, but yeah, he looked good in the first round against Murad, but then he gassed out. But maybe he was injured, like he said. That was the rumors. Maybe he was. We don't really know. But at this point, 38 fighting at 135 against a bigger, stronger guy that can defend your takedowns and outstrike you and outpower you on the feet. I just feel stylistically it's a good matchup for Song Yadong, and I think he's going to get it done. I'm not sure KO or decision, but I actually favor him by all 3 methods. Like KO, decision, or submission, I think he's the one more likely to win. And Cejudo's split decision is probably his pat. He's just not the same fighter he used to be. I know he's a legend, the former double champ, but he's getting older. He's 38, and he's not fighting at flyweight anymore. So yeah.
Yeah. I listened to the early part of Santino's podcast because I wanted to hear his opinion because I know he's in camp with him. As part of my research, and he said that he's never seen Cejudo look this good or train this hard. But like, how do you? I don't know. It wasn't even believable, to be honest, to me.
I mean, of course, he's gonna say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's his coach.
Well, what you want him to say? Oh, he's out of shape.
Like shit.
He doesn't look really good these days, or shit like that. Like he's gonna hype him up, obviously.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the show, guys. We'll do BTL Parlay real quick. I'm going to go through users who retweeted the BTL Parlay from last week, give out $20 to them. Let's see. I'm going to scroll here at random.
Didn't you say from the Parlay cash? No?
I think I said if it didn't cash, I thought.
If this Parlay lose, all right. So you're going to give 3 people.
Yeah, I said if it didn't cash. So if it didn't cash, I was giving 3 people a free bet of $20 on the BTL Parlay.
Yeah, basically that was it. And it didn't cash because of, I mean, we only hit 1 leg and it was mine. we landed the 2 other legs, which is crazy because we were so confident.
I know. All right, I'm going to close my eyes and scroll. First person who wins is Eric from Connecticut. Second person who wins is Brody's Bets. And then third person who wins here is Shotal Managa Enthusiast. Managa, oh, he's the pitcher from the Cubs. So Shotal Managa Enthusiast, Brody Bets, and Eric from Connecticut. You 3 won the you won that. So that's it. For the BTL Parlay. What do you guys think for this week? Dan, that makes complete sense. You see the backlash Nixon got? Santino said the right things. It's exactly what he said. I agree. He did what you're supposed to do as a coach. All right. So BTL Parlay. I'll go first. Actually, you go first this time.
All right. I'll go with the under 1.5 in the Cutelaba fight.
Okay.
Oh, pussy. I was going to take the money line.
No, too bad. Too bad. Now what do you got, Keith? Now you got to change your answer. I also just noticed there's not a single girl fight on this card.
Yeah, that's why his card is looking suspect in the light. just not that exciting.
Okay, so you're okay.
I'll go. Wow. Matsumoto minus 143. Yeah, eat a dick. Yeah, eat a dick.
All right, that's fine. Guess what? I'm taking Nursultan Ruziboev.
No,
yes, that's it. Now you guys are locked into the experience. You took my Matsumoto play. That's what you get. Now you get to ride with Nursultan. Okay. What's that parlay payout, Droff?
Plus 327.
Okay, so it's not bad. Not a bad parlay. So we got Nursultan money line, we got G Matsumoto money line, and we have the under 1.5 for Ibo and Ion Cutelaba plus 3 something. All right. That's how it goes, guys. Thanks for joining us. We're doing this under half an hour. Jewish, what's happening? Thanks for joining us, brother. It is a nasty work parlay. That's what we do best. I do it the best. I'm your host, Picks with Pegasus. Telegram's in my bio. Free picks. I'll do the tweet for spread of the week tomorrow. No chance of a date now. No, I think the Song Yadong parlay and the Hernandez parlay cashes. That's like a lock this week. Lock of the week. We'll see.
He's gonna mush our shit, Key.
So Telegram in my bio. Pick it. Spread of the week is Ricky Simone coming out. I'll put a tweet out tomorrow. Key, what deals you got for these folks who want to get paid in prize picks and odds dog, or what's it?
Underdog. Holy fuck.
Underdog.
We're messing up now.
All you kids nowadays are playing with your little games. What do you got for that?
We've reached a new level, but key 3 picks on all social medias. Dub Club is link in bio. You can DM me for a special code. Prize Picks, Underdog Fantasy, better app. I have DFS cores in the Discord for guys. We've been cashing on those. So it's definitely a good time to join. Over I think 3 or 4 straight winning weeks. So yeah, definitely a good time to join. And I'll definitely be hitting y'all up in DMs if you DM me. I'll hook you up with something special.
Nice. Drav, what do you got going on for the kids?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's watching it thus far and watch all the episode. DM me on Twitter, DM me BTL, and I'll give you a free trial for my odd shoppers, and you can get free bets for a month. So I hope you listen to all the pod, because I'm not going to post it on Twitter. But if you're here now, that's because you listen to all the podcasts and you're still there at the end. So DM me on Twitter, BTL, and I got you a free trial for your first month.
All right.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's cash these tickets. And
best of luck, guys. Let's crush it this week.
I already have 2 bets next week.